All right, good evening, everybody. You're welcome to this master class, how to ethically, how to ethically, um, sorry. All right, how to ethically manipulate and control people to get whatever you want every time. Now, I know um, that might sound polarizing. All right, it might sound polarizing. It might sound as though you're doing something bad. But the key word there is ethical, ethically manipulate and control people. And like I said that what was it called? My words were, I picked my words very carefully because I wanted to cause some stares. I wanted to polarize people. I wanted to grab people's attention. And that's one. Number two, I also wanted to show you how to do that, how you can get into people's heads, all right, and collect their money without getting arrested while offering them value, all right. I've done it several times, okay, legitimately by offering value to them. I want to show you how you can do it. It's going to be very useful for you when you start selling stuff, when you want to create your offers. How do you get people to buy from you without difficulty, without objection? Objections might arise, but you'll be able to accurately assess it and know what to do. Sometimes when you hear things like, I don't have money, or it's so expensive, all right, people just shut down. They don't know what else to do. Like you've broken their defenses. So how do you break through people and literally get them to do what you want them to do every time without doing anything unethical is what we want to look at today. All right. So I want you to pay attention. I want you to listen. I also want you to get your pen and paper because we're going to do some exercises together. There are quite a lot of them. So you're going to be thinking a lot. All right. Trust me, this is where the work is done. Once you know how to figure it out, the rest is history. You can always repeat the process to do for any niche, all right, that you want to go into. So we're going to assume that we have a niche. We have picked a niche. Most of us here are into the wealth niche. That is the how to make money niche, the affiliate marketing niche. All right. Okay. Some people say it's niche. Let me just stick with niche. Most of us here are in the how to make money niche. So we're going to use that niche to get into the minds of our customers and see what they're actually thinking. We're going to perform an X-ray, a surgery of their heart and their mind and their soul to literally see what they're thinking and how we can use that to advantage to help them. That is the key word. All right. We're not trying to manipulate them for our own selfish gain, but we're trying to manipulate them in quote ethically to help them. Someone should help this person that has YLSGP4. I don't know if the person can hear me because it's not showing that the person is connected, but if the person's video is on. All right. So how do we do that? It's what we want to look into briefly. All right. So like I said, you are going to be doing some exercises. If you're watching this on replay, because this is going to be a paid, if you want to access this training after now, you have to pay for it. All right. I'm going to be using it as a value, as a lead magnet. I'm going to be using this training as a bonus for an offer. So we'll be talking about all of how to use your trainings subsequently as bonuses, as lead magnets. All right. So if you're watching this on replay, I want you to get your pen and paper and also do the exercises you'll be seeing after when I share my screen. So let's go inside the training. Okay, I use Canva to do my slides. It's easier and it's less messy. Okay, so I'm going to use Canva to present this. Let me do full screen. Okay. All right, good. So this is what we're going to be looking at today. The first thing we're going to be talking about is how to get into the mind, heart, and soul of your customer. How to get into the mind, heart, and soul of your customer. You have to be able to get into their minds and know what they're thinking before you can use the mind control techniques for getting what you want all the time. All right. So first of all, we're going to look at how to get into their mind, heart, and soul. They're going to look at the mind control techniques we're going to be using in the course of this training. Now, I want to say that this training is going to be, it's not going to be one-off. It's going to be in parts. It's going to be part 1, part 2, could be part 3, depending on how much we can cover in this time frame. All right. Then, of course, some of the techniques we're looking at is brainwashing, hypnosis, manipulation, persuasion, deception, and neuro-linguistic programming. All right. These are very, very heavy techniques. And like I said, you're not using it to your own selfish advantage or selfish gain, but to help them. All right, to accurately help them. The person who is able to help them, who is able to accurately assess their problem the most, which makes them feel understood, is a person who can actually help them. All right. So it's very important that you are able to get into their mind and soul and use the techniques we're going to be looking at in the course of this training to help them. All right. Then we're going to look at how you can guard yourself against these techniques. All right. So that when someone is trying to use it against you, you would know. When someone is trying to use it against you for a negative purpose, you will be able to defend yourself. All right. So that's just what we're looking at. Are we ready? Okay. Now, I want to say that for those of us who may be feeling somehow about this, like you feel, I don't want to, this is not, I mean, I feel somehow, I don't want to get into their minds. I don't want to do this. I just want to stay. I just want to be doing what I'm doing. But you feel this is somewhat unethical. It makes you feel somehow. I would advise you to drop off this call. Excuse me. I would advise you to drop off this call and go and continue doing what you're doing. Go and continue trying so hard to get people to look at your offer, get people to make an informed decision based on how you've helped them. All right, go and continue struggling, basically, because most people who sell outside of these techniques, they struggle. All right, they struggle. Their words are weak, are less powerful, and less commanding. But if you learn these techniques, like I have learned some of them, all right, you will see how they evoke emotion, all right, and that emotion, you can use it to further help them to make that decision. All right, you're not going to coerce them, you're not going to force them, but you're going to, based on the techniques you learn, you're going to be able to use the words that will trigger certain emotions, all right, that will cause them to move to the edge where you want them to go. All right, so that's what we're looking at basically. All right, so the first one to look at is how to get into the mind, heart, and soul of your customers. Okay, we need to understand you need to understand your customer or prospect at a deeper level. All right, and this is crucial to get into their heads. You need to be able to understand them at a deeper level. Otherwise, you will not be able to communicate accurately to them, which makes them feel heard and understood. So the first step is to understand them, is to get into their mind, get into their heart, get into their soul. It's like you are actually there driving them, like you're in the driver's seat of their life, of their heart, of their soul, and you're detecting where they go and where they don't go. Quite a very tasking what's it called, exercise or job, but I guarantee you, if you can do that, you will never worry about someone saying, I can't afford it, I don't have the money, or in fact, it just makes life easier for you if you're into sales and marketing or anything that you do outside of these things. Let's say you want a girl, you like a girl, and you want to woo her to yourself. You can use these techniques for that. or you want to get a job, you can use these techniques for that. Or you want someone to do something for you, just whatever it is. These techniques will help you open their hearts to certain areas in their life that prior to that time they hadn't seen. All right. So the next thing we need is we must be able to join the conversation already taking place in their head. So there's something happening in their head right now. All right. There are conversations they are having in their head. We're going to look at that very briefly. Okay. And you need to be able to bring out those conversations. And usually it starts from us. We are a reflection of the people we sell to. Whatever problem we're trying to help them solve, at one point or the other, we may have encountered it or encountered them in the past. All right. So the first place to start usually is yourself. The first place to start is yourself. So when you look at yourself and you ask yourself, at this point in my life, what problem was I trying to solve? What was I thinking? What were my predominant thoughts? What are the things that I felt were the issues that I had that nobody understood? All right, nobody really understood it. Now we're going to be seeing how being able to accurately communicate your prospects' pain points and the offer you make, we're going to help you niche down. We're going to help you make more money, because big brands would pick a larger niche and sell. But if you are able to niche down to the point where people feel like you understand them, like you know that it's like you are the go-to person, you are the expert in that field. If you say pay ₦1 million for me to solve this problem, they will say, of course, most of them, some of them will be willing to take you up on your offer. All right. So our job is to help them articulate. Articulate is one C. This is the typological error. All right. But articulate is one C. So you know that our job is to help them articulate it so that they feel heard and understood. The problems that they have, the conversation that's going on in their head. Our job is to help them to articulate it. That's why when you're running an advertisement and someone says something that resonates with you, you want to stop and say, okay, I want to listen more. Even though in your mind as a marketer, you know that this person is going to tell me something at the end of the day, but you just have to, because the person has said something that resonates with your spirit. He has somewhat got into your mind, maybe your heart or soul, with just those few words. All right. So so when you do that, you help them to accurately articulate their problem so that they feel heard and understood. All right. So the next thing we want to do now is to write. Now, I know 100 is a lot, okay? But we're going to write out 100, what was it called? 100 phrases your customer used to express, okay? Now, I don't expect you to have that ready. Write out 100 phrases that your customer express, and we're just going to help you. See all this thing that I'm doing here, I've done it. All right, so I'm not telling you something I've not done. I'm going to stop sharing for a minute. Let's just come back here a bit. I'm going to rate some of the things I've written down. I've written over 100 plus, so I have a lot here. All right, this is where I do my work. So I want you to listen while I read out some of the phrases I feel my customers use to express their pain. All right, when I'm reading out mine, please take notes, and whatever comes to your mind, you should write it down. Ultimately, you would have to go back and do the exercise if you want to make the most of this. All right. But this is a training, so I expect you to listen. At the same time, you take notes of some of the things I mentioned while you're getting ready to do yours as well. And if you have anything that comes to your mind, you can bring it up. If I won't have a discussion on this. So the first thing I wrote here is I am broke. All right. A lot of the people that I'm trying to target, the people in my what's it called? Target audience. All right. My customer avatar. This is one of the things they say to themselves. I am broke. I don't have money. All right. I can't afford it. It is too expensive. Okay. I hate my job and want to fire my boss. Okay, I remember when I was in the bank, I hated my line manager with passion. The woman was abusive emotionally. She was unbearable. She would insult you before customers. So I hated her, but I didn't have a choice because I kept going to that job every day because I needed the money. So I know there are people like me who are going through similar situations like I was going through. So I could say I hate my job and I want to fire my boss. I don't have any savings and I am scared if there is an emergency, I won't be able to survive it. There are people like me in this situation that didn't have any savings. I don't have any savings. All right. I am worried that when light bill comes, I won't be able to pay. These are conversations going through people's head. That now that light bill has come, 80,000 naira, you don't have money to pay. All right. They're worried about it, as in legitimately. I am scared that my wife and I will go hungry because there is no food. People feel that. They just feel helpless that they can't do anything. Some people have own skill, they have the skill, but they don't know what to do with it. They just have plenty of information in their head. It's like they're confused. All right, don't worry about my hair. I'm going to treat it very soon. Now, another thing could be I am scared that I won't be able to provide for my wife as I would or as I should. People feel that. I am scared that my wife might eventually leave me because I don't have money. Some men feel that way. So you can see that my messaging is actually targeting towards men who feel insecure because they don't have the money to live the life they want to live. And it's a problem for them. And that conversation is going on through their head, but nobody probably has even told them about it. But if I not come and say, I know that you think that your wife might leave because you are broke, but here's a solution for you that you can change in the next 90 days. You think someone will want to listen? I have just addressed a fear he has in his heart that probably he hasn't voiced it out yet. All right. And now I am offering a solution, even if he has to go and steal. If I craft a Grand Slam offer, which I'm working on, by the way, that's one of the biggest and best things that have happened to me this year. Understanding how to craft a Grand Slam offer. Every one of you on this call who stick long enough in this period of transition we're going into, you're going to learn how to craft a Grand Slam offer. And that offer is a Grand Slam offer is something that you can use to generate income for yourself anytime, any day. Don't worry, let's go into that. All right. So let's go back into the conversations going on in our customers' head. All right. Now I know by now you are beginning to get an idea of what I'm talking about. Okay. I am worried that I am unable to send money monthly to my aging mother. It's one of the most painful things that can happen to anybody. The fact that you can't send money to your mom. And you know that you ought to send money to her, but because you don't have the capacity, you don't do it. All the things I outlined here are some of the emotions I have felt over the years. Okay. So as I was writing these things, at some point I was crying because I could feel the pain in my heart. I could feel the emotional pain for not being able to live up to my expectations. Now imagine you're not talking to someone who probably has felt this way, but didn't know how to articulate it. Now here you are helping him to articulate it. You think by the time you show him a path that will take him away from this pain, he will not do it. Of course he will. You are getting into your emotional subconsciousness. All right. I am sad that I can't send money to my nephew who is a recent graduate. Instead, I ask him to borrow me. Imagine that kind of a situation where someone is actually asking their nephew. It could be that bad. I have exhausted the people I can ask for money because I don't have anyone to look up to. People feel that way. They have asked all their friends and family. They can't ask anybody again for money. So now they have to, look for an alternative. And I have like 100 and something of these on my book. All right. I am worried that I can't seem to get my business off the ground. This is the third year with nothing to show for it. People are secretly laughing at me, and I am worried that I might fail. People are afraid, legitimately. At night, they are shaking that they might fail. That if I start this business now, it doesn't work out. What will people say? My friends will laugh at me that I made the wrong decision. That people like that, even in this call, like you feel that way. So if I come and say, I have a solution that can guarantee that you never fail. All you need to do is to give me 6 hours of your time every week. you think you not want to look into it. All right. So this is actually the first step, being able to bring out those ideas, those conversations, those thoughts, those pain that they feel in their head, and bring it out on paper. Some of them reflect a reflection of who you are and what you've done, or how painful the situation is for you right now. Okay, don't be afraid to put them on paper. All right, don't be afraid to. I mean, me, I'm the most. I think I used to say that I'm one of the most vulnerable people on earth. I can bow my soul for you to see it. Why? Because it's liberating for me, and it's also liberating for other people, because I can now they can trust me because I'm vulnerable to them. They can trust me. They can see that, okay, this guy is not trying to hide anything. All right. Now, another thing I wrote was that I don't know how to constantly make sales. I depend on consistent and reckless posting. There are people like that. They don't know how to make sales. They think it's just by posting, and they post and post and post and no result, and they quit. I don't know how to constantly generate leads for my business. I am worried that my business will fail because I am not able to generate leads. People price me so low that I might run out of business soon if I can't continue like this, because I can't continue like this. All right. Nobody wants to do business with me because I don't have a physical office or a business, what's it called? A business name, for example. Another could be I lose many potential customers because I don't know how to follow up. These are issues that people face. If you can articulate them in the way that they say it in their head, you would have taken one step into getting into their head. So I don't know, right now where you are, can you just scribble 1, 2, 3, 4 phrases that people in your niche. Now, like I said, you may be on this call or watching this call as on replay, and you're not probably on the affiliate marketing space or how to make money space. You could be in relationship, you could be in health, you could be in other niches like that. Some niches in this broad market, whatever niche you belong, just from where you are, write down 3 to 4 ideas. Supposed to write like 12, minimum of 12, which is what you're going to do eventually. But I want you, as you're listening to this right now, you can pause the video if you're watching it on replay, or I could just give you a few minutes. You write down 3 to 4 phrases that you think your customers are saying, are playing in their head. All right. I'm going to pause this and give us time to just write that. Then we'll come back. We can bring 1 or 2 people to talk about it, or just post it in the chat. You can post it in the chat section, so we see exactly. So I get to know if exactly you know what I'm talking about, if you're following. All right. So I'm going to pause this quickly. All right. So those of you who have given us some options, like I have debts to pay up and I just got sacked, no time to go through the course, I want to be able to travel when I want without affecting my income flow. I want you to go back and complete the exercise. You're supposed to write at least 12 of it. Just take your time to sit down. Like I said, the best place to start is from yourself. What were the emotions like for you when you started? Or maybe they could still be there. Don't be afraid to be honest with yourself and say, yeah, I still feel this way. Some of the things I wrote down on in mine were some of the emotions I feel right now. And they caused me to cry because, I mean, they are real. Okay, so I want you to be real with yourself. I want to get a loan, but the internet is much. Okay, that could be a concern. Internet could be in the fact that maybe there are too many options for you, and this could be something. This could be a serious concern for the loan sharks niche. So if you want to get them to listen to you, you can bring this as as a concern that some of your customers are facing. All right. But you get the point. So let's go into the next thing. Like I said, this is going to expire in less than 4 minutes. Once it goes off, I'm going to send another link to you and make sure you join up. All right. So let's go back to what we were talking about. All right. So that was that. The next thing we want to look at is digging deeper into your customer's mind. All right. Now we're going to look at their biggest problem, or his biggest or her biggest problem. At the end of this exercise or this particular session, we are going to craft something called your customer avatar. we want to describe the person we want to work with. Okay, we're going to describe the person we want to work with. Now, let me just digress a little bit. Now, if you're when you're looking at a market, let's assume that you don't have a market right now, you don't have a niche that you want to serve. There are 4 things you should look out for. There are 4 things you should look out for. The first thing you should look out for is that the market or the person or the niche you are servicing must have massive pain. There must be massive pain, enough pain for them to want to solve them. And you must have the ability or capabilities or skill sets to be able to solve those problems. And they must be willing to pay you the amount of money, what's it called? Money to solve that problem, which brings me to my next point. Purchasing power. They must have the purchasing power. They must have the purchasing power. All right. So the first thing I said is that they must have massive pain, like pain that keeps them up at night. Okay. The next is they must have the power to pay for it. There is no point servicing the market that can't pay for your service. I can't pay for your solution. The next is that they must be easily targeted. They must be easy to target. All right. It should be easy to find. It should be easy to find. You can either go on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or where they are congregating, whenever they are congregating, groups. All right. And the last is that it must be a growing market. The market must be growing. It must not be a dying market like newspapers. All right. It must be a growing market. So remember those 4 things to consider when you want to go into a market. Massive pain, purchasing power must be high. They must have the power to pay, easy to target, and lastly, growing. It must be growing. All right. Now, let's look at their biggest problems. What are their top 3 daily frustrations? What are their top 3 daily frustrations? This is the first thing we need to ask ourselves. What are their top 3 daily frustrations? Like I said, I have done this particular assignment. So, but I don't want to be giving you expo. I want you to, based on where you are, suggest what do you think are the top 3 daily frustrations? What do you think are top 3 daily frustrations? Okay, like I said, this is about to drop, so I'm going to stop this and all right, so we're going to continue from where we stopped and okay. Sorry about the break transmission. I should have it's just the ability to pay has been difficult, card issues and all of that. But yeah, we'll find a way to sort it out so we don't have breaks like this. I don't like when there's a break myself because I lose my train of thought, but whatever it is, we'll be fine for now. All right, so here we are. So I asked, okay, what is it? Oh, I'm hearing voices in the background, so I'm just going to mute everybody. Okay. So the goal is to answer these questions as accurately as possible. Some of you, if you the survey, would have already automatically answered this question because I asked you these questions in a different format. And what I was trying to do was to understand your deepest fears. Okay. And so now we're back at it again. So if you've not answered the question, you've answered it. If not answered the question, you might have to take some time to think about it. If you answer the question, this shouldn't be a problem for you. Okay. So what are their top 3 daily frustrations? Remember, we want to get to know these people first. Once you get a step closer into their head before we can manipulate and control them ethically to help them solve their problem so they can feel heard and understood. So I said, what are the top 3 daily frustrations? That's the first question we asked. All right. What do you think they go through on a daily basis that is eating them up like cancer? Now think about yourself. What are your top 3 daily frustrations? Is it trying to generate leads to check out your offer? Is it trying to write copies that are catchy and punchy and grabs attention? Is it trying to close sales? Is it dealing with objections? What eats you up? What makes you don't want to wake up the next day and face your business if you have one? All right. So many of us don't have businesses. We have hobbies. All right. You post once in a day. I mean, once in a while. When anything do you before you go and do actual business? You treat it like a hobby because there's something else. See, until you make your business as though that's the only thing that you have. Like if you don't do it, you not eat. You will not take it serious until it becomes the only thing you do. Maybe not be the only thing you do, but becomes like a source of income for you. All right. That's when you start taking it seriously. So what are the daily top 3 frustrations? In my own case, I say employees not responding to others promptly. There could be issues where employees are lackadaisical, they're not responding to others promptly, and they've done training for them several times. They keep recurring, there are fights on people, and people just become so relaxed, especially when the madam is not in the house. Now, this particular avatar was created for my new audience, the people I want to be serving that can pay me at least $5K to $10K for me to do a business launch for them. Like I said, some of you must have seen some of my posts. I said I am working on a program, working on something that's going to change the way we sell stuff online and help a lot of people. Now, this is why I'm doing all of these things. This is why I am going deeper and deeper into people's minds and to understand that the biggest problems, there are frustrations, there are deepest desires, because I want to do it well once and do it. I want to do it once and do it well. I want to do it once and do it well. If I can do it once and do it well, I won't have to do this for the next 10 years. But whereas I'll be able to use this to generate so much income for myself, you will think I am doing blood money. Just wait now. When this is fully fleshed out and developed, you will see how impactful it is. You will see just how much you will be able to do. All right? How much you'll be able to do. How much you'll be able to get done with this particular model. I'm going to rain out very soon. A lot of you are very, very fortunate. You're very lucky to be with me at this time. I'm going through a transition. Some of you that are close to me must have known that, and I'm trying to move away from something. So, but whatever it is, it's not for this call. But my point is, you need to be able to articulate these things that they face. All right, and you can do guesswork, you can do survey, you can do research. You can do guesswork, you can do survey, you can do research. Survey is also part of research, but I mean, I'm going to teach us how to do research. There's so many things to learn. And I'm not just teaching you so that you just go and you know them. Please, if you are a consumer and not a producer, I want you to be on this call, because, like I said, the only reason why you will not see results in what we're doing is if you stand on the fence, if you're an observer, if you're just watching us do stuff. So if you're not a doer, maybe you can jump off on this call right now. If you're watching this video on replay, if you know that you're not going to take action, please get off. Sorry, you paid money for this. We're sorry about that. No, but subsequently, maybe you should ask them if you're going to take work. All right, because it's going to take serious work. So think about these questions we're asking deeply and provide the answers. I'm going to be asking you for the answers. All right, and only those who provide the answers would probably jump on the next call. So the next thing I wrote is hiccups in delivery or poor delivery system due to third party. So some people depend on third party to help them deliver their product. So whenever they send a third party, it's either it doesn't get there or it gets there in a different form, in broken or tattered or destroyed or tampered with, or it gets there late. All right. So there's so many issues. These are just some of the issues I could think of, and there's so many of them. And as a matter of fact, by the time I'm done with this survey, you're going to see these issues at a deeper level. So I want you to write them down. We're going to collect everybody's one and make it available for everybody so you can see other people's issues and use that as a template for you to create your own. You must get it right, whether I like it or not. All right. There's low turnover, daily low turnover, underperforming campaigns. They have started running ads, but the ads are not working. They have consulted several data agencies or people, so-called gurus. They said they could do it, but they didn't do it. They are back to square one. Police wahala in delivering their product, all kinds of stuff they face every day. This could be one, so you can now rank them in order of the gravity of frustration. Okay, so that's what I wrote for the first question. What are their top 3 daily frustrations? Now, the second thing is, what things do they no longer want to experience or deal with? What are things they are experiencing right now? All right. If you can think of anyone, you can put them in the chat. What are 3 things that they no longer want to experience or deal with and it's causing them pain? Remember, we're talking about biggest problems now. All right. What are 3 things that eats them up like cancer, like they don't want to go through anymore? Can you think of any? Can you think of any? It could be some of the things I already mentioned. All right. It could be something. It could be, for example, it could be the fact that they don't want to go over this circle again. They don't want to repeat this circle again. They don't want to okay, get someone says I can do this for you. They start all over again. They go through the process and there's no result. So they have lost faith. They have lost faith in getting results from their ad spend, their ad campaign. So what things do they no longer want to deal with or experience in their business? Could it be the bureaucratic bottlenecks it has? Could it in affiliate marketing? Could it be the fact that they get easily frustrated when they start learning on their own? What can you do to make it easier for them? All right. That's one. Another thing is, what's the biggest problem they have? And all the things you've mentioned, what is the biggest problem they have? All right. What is the biggest problem they have? In my own case, the biggest problem they have is how to consistently generate leads and make sales. They don't know how. I've discussed with so many business owners and all they know is Instagram, Facebook, ads. They want to run ads. And I ask, okay, how are you running ads? We'll drive them from Instagram to our DM. It works for some people. But I say if you want to stand out to be a leading authority in your niche, you have to do things differently. You have to have a structure. You have to engineer your business in a way that it organically grows by itself and makes your customers your army of evangelists that preach your gospel. All right. And how do you do that? It starts by first and foremost understanding who you are servicing. Carve out a niche for yourself from all the things you do. I'm a photographer. I do wedding portraits. I do this one. You now list it out as your items that you do and expect people to buy from you. No. Why don't you, out of those things you do as a photographer, carve out a particular niche that you've discovered that there's a gap there that you can meet and you attack it. So people know you for that. Then the next thing is you can capture a message in your elevator pitch and all the things that bring about a comprehensive marketing plan. Then you now design a funnel for that and do campaigns and create a grand slam offer. So the things that actually will make you stand out from the crowd. But if you are just like everybody, just like every other person, you just jump onto a business and you start doing like everybody, you would soon run out of business. If you think your price is the only thing that you can use to get more people, you lower your price. You will soon run out of business. So what's their biggest problem? What do you think is their biggest problem in your own business, in your own niche? I said mine is getting leads and making sales every day consistently. They don't want to, people just want to be making sales. How it happens, they don't want to know. All right, that will give them the greatest desire and satisfaction. All right, that's for me. Now, what's your own? What do you think is their biggest problem? Write it down. Have they tried to solve this problem before? All right. Do you know if they have tried to solve this problem before? In my own case, yes, many times. They have tried many times to solve the problem, but it just would not go away because they are doing it wrongly. They are approaching it wrongly. I'm going to say that very shortly. If so, how? So you have to be able to have all these answers before you actually begin to get into their head. All right. Now, I'm not saying you're for every person you meet, you're going to have all these answers. I'm saying for the people who are coming to you because of the offers you have, the abilities you have to solve their problem, you would have the answers to give to them. You'll be able to know where and how to come in. All right. So if they have tried to solve this problem in the past, how did they try to solve it? You have to know that. How did they try? What did they do that did not work for them? All right. And how can you use that as an advantage for yourself? So that when you're going to talk to them, you already know exactly what they want, what they've done that didn't work, and what they want. The next thing we're looking at is, why didn't they succeed in solving this problem with the previous method or product? Why didn't they succeed in it? What went wrong? What could have been done differently? I want you to take note of these questions, write them down, and provide the answers. All right? Write them down, provide the answers. What did not work for them? Why didn't they succeed in solving that problem with that particular method? It could be that it didn't work because they didn't have the right strategy, or they didn't have strategy at all. For most of the business I've interacted with, because I am focusing on startups, maybe that's where God is pulling me towards. Okay, I'm focusing on startups. Startups just feel they can start a business and that is it. They're saying they don't think they need to sit down and really think through or consult an expert like me, consult a business strategist. You're going to help them see everything from a bird's eye view. All right. So why didn't it work? What did they do differently? It could be that they didn't have strategy. It could be that they were targeting the wrong people. It could be that their offer was weak. They didn't have a grand slam offer. It could be that there are so many reasons, plethora of them. So you need to be specific in what exactly was the reason it didn't succeed. All right. Now, the next thing is, what's the single biggest thing they are struggling internally with right now? Now, internally could be something that, could be that they are afraid of being seen as a failure. I am afraid of being seen as a failure. I have boasted and bragged in the past that entrepreneurship is the best way. But some of my friends are still waiting for me to blow, in quotes. All right. And so I feel that if I quit today and go and get a job tomorrow, I feel like as a failure. I'll be a laughing stock. Some wives start a business because they want to prove to their husband that they are not a failure. They can actually do something with their hands. So it could be an eternal struggle they have, an ongoing struggle on the inside. Could be so many things. So you figure that out, you think about it, all right, and you write it down. So what's the biggest problem they have? Okay, what's the biggest problem they have? What have they tried to solve this problem before? If so, how? All right. So I think I've answered this question before. Oh yeah. So why am I repeating it? Okay. So so basically, also, what's the single biggest thing they are struggling with externally? All right, because also be something like, okay, we talked about it. What's the single biggest thing they are struggling with externally? It could be the fact that their ads will not just convert. Okay, could be the fact that they've shown their presentation, whatever it is, to multiple people, but no one has bought yet. It could be whatever. So I want you to write down the question and answer it. Don't try to overthink it. Just write it down the way you seem best. Okay. Some of you must have answered this question already. It could be a reflection of where your customer is right now. Okay. Then the next thing is their greatest fears. What worries or fears or what worries or fears haunt them? Like, what keeps them up at night? Okay, we're talking about their greatest fears now. What worries or fears them? What keeps them up at night? Okay. It could be being called. They feel like I already said, quitting while watching your peers succeed and flourish in life. Okay. It could be starting all over. It could be going broke. All right. So what worries or fears them? All right. What worries or fears haunt them? That's the question. Actually, that's the way to say it. Remind me. What worries or fears them? So what keeps them up at night, tossing and turning, not unable to sleep. All right. What keeps them up at night? So think about what you think will keep your customer at night. All right. There's something I wrote down here. What are they afraid of? I don't think I put it on this. What are they afraid of? What are they afraid of? What are they angry about? So as regards what keeps them up at night, I said feeling like a failure for poor, lack of results, gotten some result but want more, employee size. Okay. I'll just give you some more details about my customer avatar. But something keeps them up at night. It could be the fact that they feel like an underachiever. They could be doing more, but they're still playing small. Their mates are getting up on ahead in life, but they are still doing this little thing. What is this thing said it's called? Say, what kind of rubbish is it? So there's so many things that goes through people's head, all right, that keeps them up at night. So you should be able to articulately bring it out, all right, to address those fears. All right, next is, what do they believe will happen if they don't succeed in solving their problem? It could be a situation, it could be what situation, what event or circumstance that they're deeply afraid of that might happen. All right, would your husband or wife leave them? Will they go broke? Will they lose their business? Will they quit? Will they be seen as a failure? All right. Will they lose their friends? Will they, will their kids go hungry? Will they lose their job or scholarship? Whatever it is. So those things are things that you will use. So this is what will happen if you don't do this. Your business is spiraling down to oblivion. If you don't do this now, in the next 2-3 years, you're out of business. So you're already a prophet of doom because you have been able to accurately assess your problem. The next thing is, why is it important he or she fix this problem now? Why do you think they should fix this problem now? What consequences are waiting or continuing on right now? All right, that is making them lose money. So if it's no strategy at all, they're just running out, like that. They are bleeding. The business is bleeding money. They could make more money if they had a little structure, a little funnel, a little value ladder, a little better offer. All right, than if they just throwing money because they feel everybody running at someone else as well. So it could be an emotional consequence, could be a financial consequence, whatever it is. Okay. So why do you need to fix the problem right now? The next is, what is the underlying cause of the problem or pain they're experiencing? All right. That's the thing they need to fix immediately. Like, do they realize this is the root cause of the problem, or are they chasing something else? Like, once you figure out what exactly is the underlying cause of the problem, for me, most times I see strategy, lack of a better strategy, lack of a strategy at all. All right. Once I figure that out, I ask them, do they realize this is the root cause, or is it that their mind is focused on something else? But people are honest enough. They tell me they think this is it because this is why this has happened and all of that. Fine, say fine. If you feel that this is the problem, this is the reason, this is the root cause of a problem, would you be willing to jump on a call for us to properly assess this and see how we can provide a solution for you? 100% of the time it works. People who are passionate about their business, they want it to grow, will say, yes, of course. I can do this for not just Nigerians alone, for people abroad. All right. So that is that for assessing their greatest fears. The next is the gap. Now, what gaps have you noticed? What are the 4 to 5 areas or topics that you focus on in order to get them the results they want? Like, if you were called on, let me pick any name here that's still on this call. Let's see. If I call on a Kenyan right now and say, what are the 4 to 5 areas or topics that is ready available in your arsenal? All right, not Arsenal that lost like yesterday, but in your arsenal, in your vault that you can focus on, in order to get them the result they want. So you have to keep this broad, where the specific strategies you use in each area can be customized to the client later. So you keep this broad. All right. It could be help them craft a better offer so that they get more sales. It could be help them generate leads, quality leads, or people who can pay them the money they are worth. Areas that topics that you feel you can even put the topic: lead generation. It could be content creation. It could be copywriting. It could be strategy, whatever it is. So write those ones down. The next is, what are the biggest tips or strategies you would give someone who needed to get results quickly? Like, if you were not going to be heavily involved in their business, if you feel, okay, I don't have the money right now, I'm not ready for this right now, what would you give them as a giveaway? All right. You will recommend, as a consultant, as an expert, as an authority in your field, you would consult them. You will give them tips or strategies, 3 to 5 steps they could take to turn things around now, right? In my own case, I'll tell them to step back from the business and do a complete surgical operation in their business, overhaul everything you've been doing in the past, change your processes, change your approach. Okay. Then the next thing I would tell them, if I'm to give 3 to 5 steps, is to I could say, okay, consult with an expert, all right, to give you a plan. Now, a lot of people will be like thinking, an expert, money. I don't have money for that. I don't have money. Okay, fine. In your targeting, focus on people who are this and that, who are likely to pay you because you speak their message. All right. And on and on and on. So you should be able to come up with 3 to 5 steps you could take right now to turn your business around based on your knowledge of how good, your knowledge and expertise in that niche. Right. The next is, what are the mistakes that your ideal customer avatar is making right now, like giving them stock? All right. Like they're focused on the wrong area, they're implementing the wrong strategy, they're missing the foundation. What are they making? So you have to be able to tell them this thing. You're making a mistake in this area. That's why you're not getting results, like keeping you stuck. All right, it could be a mindset issue. It could be a mindset issue. That their mindset feels like, okay, it will work out eventually without doing anything. It won't work out eventually if you don't do anything. Your business will die. You see, it's either you're growing or you're dying. If you're not actively growing yourself, then invariably you are dying. All right. So what are the mistakes that your ideal customer is making based on your assessment of them and keeping them stuck? Okay. The next is what are the biggest obstacles? What are the biggest obstacles that stand in the way of your ideal avatar or customer getting the results they want? What are the biggest obstacles? What obstacles could you think of that stand in the way? Do they lack information, motivation, a strategy? Be specific. Now, some of these answers are repetitive. Don't be afraid to. Now, when we go into how to creating Grand Slam offers, you will see how repetitive this can be, but how you can break them into blocks. There's something called convergent thinking and divergent thinking. We're going to look at all of that on a later date. But we're going to see how you can use divergent thinking to solve problems. All right. So what are the biggest obstacles you think that is standing in your way right now? Okay. Then who are your biggest competitors for this offer or niche? Like, who are the people who are already in the market? What are they offering? How can you beat that? Don't worry, when we get into offer creation, you see all of that. But can you think of anybody? Can you go online to do research? Can you ask them if they know 1 or 2 people who have worked with them before? All right. Can also get a link to their website if you can. Very, very important. All right. And the next is what does your ideal avatar not like? Okay, what does your ideal avatar not like about some of the other product, services, or businesses in your niche? Those people who you have interacted with, what do you not like about it? Are all these answers to this question going to be used in copywriting? Yes, they are. When you're writing your copy, you're going to writing doing your first project. We're going to be having projects. A lot of us are going to be having projects, all right? When you're doing your first project, these questions you are writing out now are going to be used to flesh out your copies. So if you read any copywriting book anywhere, the first thing you talk about is your customer avatar. And in ethically manipulating and controlling people, you have to first get to know them before you actually manipulate and control them. Do you understand? So what does your ideal avatar not like about some of the products, services, or businesses in your niche? What ticks them off? All right. What services do they, what practices do those people have? Do they offer global best practices, or are they wishy-washy? All right. These are things that some of us who have been doing agency work for a while may know offhand. My point is, I want you to think about it based on your niche. If you're doing agency work, or you're just offering, if you're affiliating for another person, what are some of the services that have received in the past from other people in your niche? Okay. The next is, what about your offering? What about your offering needs to be different in order for your ideal avatar to invest in you? Now, Just think about it quickly. What do you think you can change about your offer that you can be better? Don't worry. We are going to go into Grand Slam offer, not tonight, but in subsequent trainings. We're going to go into how to craft a Grand Slam offer. That's the best thing that's happened to me again this year. And I'm grateful for God that I was patient enough to actually learn it and being able to teach others as well. Okay. So what about your offering needs to be different in order for your ideal avatar to invest in you? What do they need to know or believe before they can commit? Now, before I go on, I need to say that you need to outwork your self-doubt in this case. You need to outwork your self-doubt. If you're going to do what we do, if you're going to operate at your maximum potential, you need to absolutely believe that whatever amount you call, which you're going to deliver in value, all right, your customer will be able to pay you. Even if you call him ₦1 million, is actually a small money right now. But if you call him 5 million naira, your customer will be able to pay that amount of money. And you'll not be blinking your eyes or you're shaking because you called that amount. You are absolutely sure that you're going to deliver on that because you said you have helped people in the past or you know it will work. All right. Time is almost out again. Voila. All right. So what about your offering needs to be different? Then the next is, has your ideal customer had other experiences with businesses or services like yours? What didn't they like about those experiences? I think I talked about that already. What was your ideal customer? Okay. Well, okay. What did they not like about some of those product services in your niche? Okay. Those products or services, not people they've worked with, product or services. Now, this one is, has your ideal avatar had other experiences with business or services like yours? What didn't they like about those experiences? So you need to listen to them. And those are the things that you're going to use as an advantage. All right. You're going to use not against them, but to help them actually. And those are the things you're going to use to capitalize on. All right. To provide value to them. We're going to learn how to create value in its best form. I'm so excited for what's coming. So, but for now, think through these questions. See if you can come up with something by yourself. All right. See if you can come up with something. Task your brain. What we are, I believe, as strategists, we are being paid for thinking. And we can help the people think through all the clutter and confusion and pain and actually get results, there's no amount of money we'll ask in this life, I will not get it. All right. So this is where the work is. Okay. This is where the real work is. The moment you can do all this, put it down on paper and translate into other people's lives in their businesses, you are golden. I'm serious. Just work with me a bit. All right. So the next is their deepest desires. We talked about their pain. One of the deepest desires was when Gerard was talking about how his customers wants to make more money to travel. And so it doesn't affect their income. They want to be able to travel whenever they want without their income getting low. That is a genuine desire. Some business owners feel that the moment they step their leg from their business, it will completely die. So what do they secretly yet ardently desire the most? All right. What do they secretly yet ardently desire the most? Describe it in one simple sentence. You can write it down. The secret which they hold on to but don't often talk about. What would that be? Could it be more time with their husband or wife, with their kids? Could it be able to travel abroad? Or could it be that they want their friends to see them and respect them? Could it be they want to be respected? Could it be that they want to be a reference point? Could it be that they want to buy a car of their dreams so that people can accord them the respect they desire, or they can increase in their status? These are secret yet ardently desires that people want. Okay, so write it in a simple sentence. They desire to be the best in their business. They desire to be the go-to person, a household name, whatever. All right. Next is, if they could wave a magic wand, what would their life look like in 6 months to a year? Now, you have to bring your imagination to play here. Just imagine. I want you to usually use your imagination for this. Imagine what their life will look like. They wake up in the morning, they are smiling to the bathroom, singing praises, humming under their breath, and they pick their bag. The first thing they get is a call. What's it called? There are girls or there are boys in the office saying there are people lining up to buy stuff and, maybe asking questions for a particular product. And they go to the market, they go to the shop. Then they get to the shop, they've already sold maybe They already made more than half of their daily target. And you know, what life would life look like? Would they be traveling with your husband, going for speaking engagement? Who would they be doing it with? I want you to imagine this and write it down. If you can write 5 pages, please do this. It's very important. All right. We'll soon wrap up. We'll not go for another session because of I don't want to keep you here too long. I said 2 hours, but I like my sessions to be short so that people can consume and all of that. So we're going to have the part 2. Remember, we talked about the fact that this is part 1 where we talk about how to get into the heart, the mind, heart, and soul of your customer. They'll look at how to control and manipulate them using hypnotic techniques like using techniques like hypnosis, manipulation, deception, persuasion, neuro-linguistic programming, and others. All right, self-betrayal and all of that. So this is just the first part. It's very crucial to what we want to do. I beg you in the name of God you serve, go back and do these exercises. You will not be allowed or permitted to get into class if you don't do the exercise. It's as simple as that. All right, even if it's just one person that does it or nobody, no problem. We'll continue from there. The fewer, the better. Now, what are three specific external things that will make them feel more happy and fulfilled? The fact that they know that they're getting leads every day, the fact that they know that sales are coming in consistently, the fact that they know that they're not having their ads are performing at optimum. You know, they're spending 5K, they're getting 15K from it. These are ideal situations that can happen when you've worked on the business model. All right. So what are 3 specific things you can think of externally that will make them more happy and fulfilled? What are 3 specific internal things that will make them feel more happy and fulfilled? All right. Could be that they're peace of mind and not worrying about all the things that they worried about in those in the internal things when they had pain. All right. So you can just switch from the things that cause them pain, turn into a positive thing. All right. Now they are no longer worried about if if they're going to be a failure, because now they're confident, they're certain, they're confident, they are sure that they are on the right path, that this is what they've always wanted to do. All right. The next is now this is where we draw the curtain. But before we do that, now what is one thing, in one simple sentence, that you can clarify how you serve them, who you serve, and what gap you provide a bridge for? Look at this. In one simple sentence, one simple statement, clarify who you serve and what gap you provide a bridge for. This is key because this is what you're going to determine your messaging. All right. You're going to determine your messaging. I help business startups create structure. I help business startups go from $0 to $30,000 in 9 months or less. Simple. I help life coaching. What's this now? I help life coaches grow a 6-figure business online. I help single dads lose 30 pounds without sacrificing their favorite foods. I help busy moms cook healthy, quick meals for their families. All right. I want you, don't use it as don't copy this. Just after going through all the exercises, you've answered the questions, I want you to write this down. All right. Write it down. In my own case, I help business startups go from $0 to $30,000 in 9 months from now. It's actually a long time, but it's just being conservative. You can actually do more than $10,000 in 9 months. All right, with the business model I'm going to be rolling out in a few months from now. But 9 months is very conservative. It's very, very realistic. All right, so I want you, based on the gap you have observed, all right, clarify who you serve right now and the gap you provide a bridge for. So I help so people do this, achieve this. Okay, I help busy moms cook healthy meals, and yeah, okay. Once people say clarify who you serve. So I think that's that for now. That's that for now because of time. So less than 1 minute. I wish you could do Q&A. Maybe we should do Q&A. Okay, we're gonna do Q&A after this call because I want people to ask questions. I want people to let's interact. Okay, share the PDF questions. All right, I can do that, even though it's supposed to be paid, but Well, you guys, I mean, we'll make it available. And yeah, so any questions whatsoever, if you have to do Q&A, any questions whatsoever, this is the first step in getting to their minds, their heart and soul. It's, like I said, it's quite a lot, but what questions do is open up your mind to possibilities you didn't know perhaps at that time. So I want you again to enforce the fact that you should go and check out those questions. I think our time is almost up. I'm going to stop recording.